Welcome to our next probability concepts video for level 3. We continue talking about probability trees. We're coming back to our example from the last video where we had a standard pack of 52 cards. We selected the first card and we didn't replace it, and then we selected a second card. And this is the probability tree we developed from our last video. Remember, the key thing is to multiply along the branches to get the probability of each scenario, 2 hearts, a heart first and then a no heart first and then a heart, and 2 no heart cards. Right, so what we're going to do in this video is show you how we turn this into a probability two-way table. So we've got our first card and our second card, and we can have our heart, which we're going to designate as H, and a H dash means a no heart, the not a heart. Right, well, this box here represents a heart in the first card and a heart in the second card, which is this scenario here. And we're going to work out what 156 over 2,652 is as a decimal, and we're going to round it to 4 significant figures. So let's pop that into this box, 0.05882. Right, what about this box? This represents a heart first card and a no heart second card, which is this scenario. And once again, we're going to convert the fraction into a decimal and round it to 4 significant figures, 0.1912. Right, this box represents getting a no heart for our first card and a heart for our second card, which is this scenario here. So once again, let's convert this to a decimal and round it to 4 significant figures to 0.1912. And then this last box here represents a no heart for the first card and a no heart for the second card, 2 no hearts, which is this last scenario. And we're once again going to round it to 4 significant figures and pop it into this box. Right, well, let's add up the columns now. So let's add up these 2 scenarios. And that gives us 0.25. Now, it doesn't give us exactly 0.25, but because of the rounding we've had to do, it is very, very, very close to 0.25. Now, that represents these 2 options. There's a 25% chance of these 2 options occurring. Let's add up this column, these 2 columns, and that gives us 0.75. And once again, we know these 2 options have a 75% chance of occurring. When we add up the rows, let's add up the rows here across, and that gives us 0.25, and that represents these 2 options. 25% chance of these 2 options occurring. And our final row to add up is across here, so let's add them up and we get 0.75. That represents these 2 options, and we have a 75% chance of these 2 options occurring. Right, well, our final thing to do is to add up our totals. The first thing to check is to see if these 4 options, those are the only 4 options that are going on here, they all need to add up to 1 whole, or 100%. Now, when I add them up, because I've done a little bit of rounding along the way, I rounded everything to 4 significant figures, you can see it's not quite add up to 1, but it's close enough. It's very, very, very close to 1. So we're going to ignore that little bit of error, and we're going to say they add up to 1. And a final check to do quickly is to make sure that across here the totals add up to 1, which they do, and our columns here also totals add up to 1, which they do. Right, so that's basically how you take a probability tree and convert it to a two-way table. Thanks very much for watching for the video.